Someone give us the shape you have formed. What shape have we formed? What shape have we formed?
Paula, you can talk. Over Paula. Pauline, you can talk.
Yes.
Hello, teacher.
What? Good morning.
I did the exercise, but the way I'm good morning, teacher.
Good morning, too. What's your name?
Teacher, I did. My name is Nancy Pauline.
Yes, Pauline.
Teacher, I did the exercise, but the way I'm seeing you doing it is somehow more confusing.
More confused? Even yours is confused.
The way
is. Yes.
But the way you're doing it is.
Did you plot the first triangle? We had part A and then part B. Did you plot the points of the first triangle?
Yes, on a different plotting what? Graph something.
Are you stupid? Didn't I tell you to use one plot? Never need what you remember.
Yes.
Never need man's now.
The question is, use the graph paper to join. We have part A, then part B. Part A, join the points 0, 3, 5, 6, 5, 0 to draw a triangle. That is part A, right? Right?
Yes.
Then part B, on the same diagram, join the points with the coordinates 2, 0, 2, 6, and 73, meaning that you are using the same graph. Where you drew the first triangle is where you are drawing the second triangle, and the points are given. Did you separate the two? Did you separate the two?
Yes, I.
But according to the question, you are supposed to draw on the same graph. You have the first triangle with the points given, and the second triangle, also the points are given. So if you separated, you did not follow the instructions, my dear. We need to follow instructions. Are we together? Are we together, lady?
Yes.
Okay, now we are making a correction of the mistake you made. They are supposed to be on the same graph. Somebody else who followed the instructions? Somebody else? Gabriela, are you there?
Yes.
Gabriela?
Yes.
Can you please tell us what you did? Did you have the two triangles on the same graph?
Yes, teacher, they were on the same graph.
Yes. Do you have what
Teacher, I was
we have
asked.
Yes.
Mine is kind of different because B and C are kind of slanting. Is that okay?
And you see a kind of what? Please, can you speak to me? And somebody who has the same graph. If you do not follow the instructions,
yes,
follow them, we are having the two triangles on the same graph. You can see what we have on the chalkboard. So what shape are we having?
We're having two triangles.
We are having two triangles combined forming a common shape. What shape? Can you describe the shape now drawn?
Okay.
It's a star.
Thank you, teacher.
A six-pointed star.
It is. Is.
Excuse me, teacher.
Yes.
Teacher, this is not related to what we are learning, but some children are still waiting for you to let them in the meeting.
They have refused to put their real names. I'm not going to let anyone who doesn't have a full name. I inform them, tell them.
So, Gabriela,
I'm doing it intentionally, discipline.
it is a 6 point.
Tell them on your WhatsApp.
A 6 point star. We have 1 point, 3, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I think she's correct.
Teacher, excuse me, teacher. I did not understand when we are plotting 5, 0. I really did not understand.
5, 0. The first coordinate is the x coordinate, and the second coordinate is the y coordinate. So now we are getting a 5 on the x-axis. This is where 5 is.
Yes.
5 on the x coordinate, that on the x-axis.
Yes, I see.
Yes. And then 0 on the y. Meaning that we are not leaving this point as far as y is concerned, we are still at the origin. So where 0 on the y intersects 5 on the x, we have our point, and that is 5. Are we together?
Okay. Yes, I've understood. Thank you.
And we all agree that the shape we are forming is a 6-point star. We have there are 6 points. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Therefore, it is a 6-pointed star. When you combine the two triangles, that is what we are forming. Now, members, can we look at question number 2? Question number 2. On the same graph paper, join these points in order. You are given the points in part A, the points in part B, the points in part C, the points in part D, and points in part D. Now, when you plot the points, are we on question number 2? You now have a fresh graph paper. Are we on number 2?
Yes.
So now we are on number 2. Get a fresh graph paper. Get a fresh graph paper. And then we are going to do number 2. A hint, can we have the y-axis ranging from 0 to 10 and the x-axis from 0 up to 10 if you can achieve it. If you can't achieve it, you can have from 0 to 8 because those are the points we need in question number 2. Question number 2, you're going to draw a graph with the points joined in order. We have part A, we have part B, we have part C, we have part D. Then we are going to join them in order. Can you get started? Know how to draw the x-axis and the y-axis. The x-axis and y-axis intersect at the origin. So, can we prepare our page? We draw the x-axis. We draw the y-axis. we have 0, we have 0. The two axes, the x-axis and the y-axis, intersect at 0, 0. The horizontal axis is our x-axis. The vertical is our y-axis.
Okay, you got it.
We are having 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. We can stop at 10. Then we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. We can stop at 10. All those ones are positive. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. The vertical line is the y-axis. The horizontal line is the x-axis. We are answering. Now this is number 2. They have opened the messages. We are on number 2. If you are stuck somewhere, I'm here with the teacher Rahima. She can help us.
Reading the messages.
She's going to be reading the messages and we shall be at 5. So now, our points, question number 2, we have part A. The instruction is that on the same graph paper, join these points in order. So when you plot the first point, you go to the second point, you join. You move from the second to the third, you join. Now, part A, the first point is...
Which activity are we doing?
Plotting points, exercise number 2, page 25. Are you there on the home study learning booklet? Page number 25, exercise, because there are 2 exercises on the same page, but on the first exercise, we have completed question number 1. We are now on question number 2. Part A has points. Part A has points 4, 6, 10, 5, 7. Then the next one is 6, 6. Next point 4, 6, which is our starting point. So we are joining the points. We are beginning from 4, 6, and we shall end with 4, 6. So we know that the x coordinate comes first, then the y coordinate comes second. So we are plotting 4 on the x and 6 on the y. 4 on the x and 6 on the y. Where do they intersect? It is at that point. 4 on the x and 6. That is our first point. The second point is 5, 7. 5 on the x-axis, 7 on the y-axis. Read the instructions, members. Number 2, the first exercise. On the same graph paper, join these points in order. The points are divided into part A, part B, part C, and part D. You are drawing them, you are plotting them on the same graph paper. Now, for part A, we begin with 4, 6, 7, 5, 7, 6, 6, 4, 6. You are joining them in that order, beginning with 4, 6, then you go to 5, 7, you go to 6, 6, and lastly to 4, 6. So we are ending at the point we started. We have 4, 6, we have 5, 7, then 6, 6, 6, 6. And then
It is an triangle.
So we are forming a triangle.
An isosceles triangle.
We are forming a triangle. That is part A in the question. Are we together? Now, part B, we have a set of points. Part B has a set of points. And these are 5, 8. You have them 5 on the X, 8 on the Y. So that is the first point. Followed by 4 and then 8. So we have the second point. The third point,
4, 7.
4, 7.
7.
4 on the X and 7 on the Y. Next,
5, 8.
5, 8. That is where we started from. Then 6, 8. From there, then another point,
6, 7.
7. We have that point. Is it the last point?
No. 5, 8.
5, 8 is the last point. So now, can we join them in order? Which point did we start with?
5, 8.
5, 8. Where did we go next?
4, 8.
4, 8. Are you seeing me joining? From the first point to the second, then the next point,
4, 7.
then the next point,
5, 8.
I beg your pardon, can we start from the first point? Which point did we start with?
5, 8.
5, 8 is the first point, followed by
4,
4,
8.
8. So we are there. Good. Then from 4, 8 to 5, 8.
4, 7. 4, 7. Oh, this girl.
Which one is the third point?
4, 7.
4, 7 is here. And then from 4, 7,
5, 8.
5, 8. From 5, 8,
6, 8.
6, 8. From 6, 8,
6, 7.
6, 7. From 6, 7,
5, 8.
5, 8. So that is the second.
Angle triangle. There are 2 right angled triangles.
That is part B, right?
Yes, there are 2 right angled triangles.
Fine. We are not yet done. We have only done represented the set of points in part A, the set of points in part B. We are now looking at the set of points in part C. All on the same graph. Part C. Somebody who is there, what is the first point?
5, 2.
4. Yes.
5, 2.
Helen, can you follow the teacher?
We are in part C. Part C, the first point. 4, 5.
5.
Followed by 5.
They are now okay.
4. Good. Then from 5, 4, 6,
5.
5.
How many are following the teacher? Type me, and we see. How many are with the teacher? Very good. That's very good.
From 6, 5, we got which point? 5,
Wonderful.
3.
All of you are with the teacher now.
From 5, 3, we move to 4,
5.
5.
We are getting the help from the home study
That is
material.
part C. Are we together? Then we have
Yes.
part D. Part D, you need to be sober. There are arrow points. The first one,
They are now.
the first one on part D?
5, 2.
5 on X, 2 on the 5. So followed by 3, 4. So can we join those two? And then from 3, 4, 3, 5. From 3, 5 to 2, 5. From 2, 5 to 8. From 2, 8, 3, 8. From 3, 8 to 3, 9. From 3, 9 to 7, 9, 7 is on the x-axis, 9 is on the y-axis. So we join, and then from 7, 9, 7, 8, 7 on the x-axis, 8 is on the y-axis. Join, 8, 8 on the x-axis, 8 on the y-axis.
Excuse me, teacher.
8, 82. No, there is a 5 there. The next line. The next point from 8, 8, we have 8, 5. So we have 8 on the x-axis.
Wait for the teacher to finish. She's going to give you time to ask questions.
5 on the y-axis. From 8, 5 to which point? 7, 5. So we come to 7, 5. From 7, 5 to 7, 4. From 7, 4 to 5, 2, our starting point. So this is part B. Are we together?
No.
Yes. Any question?
Yes.
Yes. Who is that one?
Asimo Christine from 1 East.
Christine, yes.
I've not got anything from the beginning. So like, are we trying to make a share or we are joining?
Do you have the home study learning material?
Yeah.
Do you have this book with you?
Yeah, I have it.
Can you open page 25? Were you around last time?
Yeah.
Were you around?
Yes.
You do number 1 of the first exercise.
Yeah.
Have you been with us since we started the lesson?
No, I've joined them. They said the host will allow you in after some time and I had to wait.
Now, we started with question number 1, which I left as an exercise last time. And now this is question 2. When you follow the instructions, you're going to come up with what we have here. We have a set of points in part A, a set of points in part B, a set of points in part C, and lastly, a set of points in part D. So what are we being examined on? Can we plot the points? And when we plot points, we come up with something. When we plotted the first set of points, we came up with a triangle. This is the triangle we had in part A. Then we plotted a set of points in part B, and this is the figure we came up with. Then we plotted a set of points in part C. This is what we achieved. Right? Yes. Right? Yes. Christine?
Yeah.
Then part D was a bit lengthy because it had a number of points. And when we plotted all the points in part D, we came up with this figure surrounding the inner figures we had before. Are we together?
Yeah.
So that is where we are.
How many are with the teacher? Type.
Teacher, should we write in the graph books or these usual books?
We are drawing in our graph book. We are drawing, actually, coordinates introduces us to the concept of graph work, which is very common in paper 1 mathematics. So when we learn how to plot, it will help us do the graph work, which we are going to find very common in paper 1 mathematics. So now when you read the study material, can someone read it for us? Just line it down. After question number 2, what do we have there? Yes. After question 2, there is that line here.
Teacher.
Are you in class?
Yes. Teacher.
Yes.
Is it a must to put the like D and A like after putting the diagrams together?
Because they are given as A, B, C, and D. That's why I'm labeling the set of points at A, the set of points at B, the set of points in part C, the set of points in part D. For reference, if you wanted to know what figure came out of the points in part A, we can always get it from that graph. That's okay?
Yes.
Yes, for clarity, we need come.
Excuse me, teacher.
Yeah.
Excuse me, teacher. I did that number, but I got a different shape.
Which means you did not plot properly. The x coordinate comes by the y coordinate. If you did not plot properly, maybe you are getting a different diagram. But we have done this one together. Therefore, we have agreed by consensus that correct diagram, and you are part of the group that has come up with this diagram, right? So maybe you had not plotted it properly, and that's why we are plotting together here, so that we get to know how we can plot. Last
Teacher.
Yes.
I was requesting that you repeat that.
What is your name?
Emily.
What is your name?
My name is Emily.
Yes, Emily.
I was requesting you repeat D, the whole of it.
The whole of it, you're going to do it yourself, because sometimes practice is part of learning. Eh? When you always find something done for you, that's why I wanted to start with you, but probably you are not there. So practice is part of learning. When you try to do it alone, you will do it very well. But where you find a challenge, you will inbox me.
Excuse me, teacher. Excuse me, teacher.
Yes, Emily.
No, it's Namazi.
Namazi, yes.
I'm requesting that you record the lesson because some of us, our internet is on and off. So we can find it on the e-learning platform.
The teacher is doing that, Sanamdala. If there is anything, you can consult him.
Okay, thank you.
Excuse me, teacher. Excuse me,
teacher.
I'm listening.
I would like to know for number 1, what was the shape?
It was a 6-star, a 6-pointed star. When we draw the two triangles, it gives us a 6-pointed star. Now, can we move on? Josephine, you're reading for us. We can also use negative numbers. Speak louder. Speak louder.
We can also use negative numbers in coordinates. We can bring in coordinate axes like positive and negative numbers.
Thank you. So now what we are going to do is to look at, remember the first lesson we had the horizontal number line and the vertical number line, but we just decided to begin with the positive sides of the horizontal number line and the vertical number line. Now we can bring in the concept of negative numbers. And what are we going to call it? We are going to call it negative coordinates. Negative coordinates. Can you mute, please? The person who is singing, maybe the next lesson will be music, please. Is label the axis. The vertical axis is the y-axis. The horizontal axis is the x-axis. You must always axis. So we have the two intersecting at the origin. So the point here is 0, 0. We are included. You can put it in the middle, or you can. At least your graph paper has more space than mine. Yes. I want on the x-axis to go as far as 4, and then the y as far as 7. The out, I need a negative 3, and this side I also need a negative 3. This is what I have on my paper. So this is 2, this is 4, of course there is 1, there is a 3, there is a 6, 5, 3, 1.
What's up number?
16 19 09. Sorry? Can you put the negative on the y-axis? I'm putting it. So we have the x-axis intersecting with the y-axis at the origin. And then we have the x values from the origin to the right-hand side are positive, and to the left-hand side are negative. The y values from the origin upwards are positive, downwards are negative. Now we have the points given in our diagram. We have point A, we have point B, point C, point D, point E, and point F. Can you please state the coordinates of each of these points? Can you state? So state the coordinates of the points from A to F. Can you do it very fast? We have our graph. You're going to put it in your graph book. And then we are going to state the coordinates of points A, B, C, D, E, and F. I'm waiting for your answers. If there is anyone whose contact is not yet connected, could be the reason is that the name is anonymous. Make sure you write your name, then you'll be admitted in the class. So you need to write your name. Don't put the names that are not matching with what we expect. When you're submitting your work to the teacher, please indicate your name so that name stream so that we get to know who is posting.
That room is open, you can ask the teacher.
So this graph here is not in your book. I've just picked a graph and then I've put it here. Now, supposing you have this graph, we are seeing how the negative values can be included in our graph. We have the y-axis with positive and negative values. We have the x-axis with both positive and negative values. Now, I've picked on points and I've put them in my graph. Can you state the coordinates of each of the points given? We have point A, point B, point C, point D, point E, point F. So this is a graph, not in your book, but we have it here, just like you can see. I want you to state the coordinates of the points given in a graph. And here I am waiting for your responses. So give the names of the students who are here in school. That's when you'll be allowed in our class. The name you have used does not appear on the senior one list, you will not be allowed in the class. So you need to indicate the name that are your real name, not fake names. To our friends in senior, oh, the answers are coming. F is 26, yes. So now, what are the coordinates of A? The coordinates of A are 2, 3. So we shall have 2, 3. They should be in brackets. Yes? If they are positive, you may not put the positive sign. But if they are negative, that is a must. You have to indicate that it is a negative. I can see the answers coming in here. Kezabu, B is 20. I don't know whether members are seeing that. I can see Nabatesa, Ezra. The answers Munira, 5, -2. C, -4, -3. C, -4, -3. Very good answers. Oh, that is very good. Tania, Gabriel, Gramia. Thank you, ladies. Don't forget the brackets. There are some people who had not put the brackets. Correction for C, -4, -3. That is very good. D, -1, 0. Good. So those are the coordinates of those points. Yes? Yes. Somebody is asking whether the brackets are compulsory. If we are, that is how we indicate a coordinate. You have the x coordinate first, followed by the y coordinate. So thank you very much for the responses. Your responses are very correct. Can we just fill in here? Coordinates for B. B? 0, 0, 2. Coordinates of C? -4, -3. That is very good. E? -1, 0. E? 5, -2. Coordinates of F? -2, 6. That is very good. So we can see how we can include the negative coordinates as well as the positive coordinates. So that is how we can represent, identify the points on the number line. There is an activity in our book, activity 4.1. Ladies, there is an activity in our book 4.1 which I want you to do. Somebody to help us read. Activity 4.1, somebody to help us read out there.
Okay. Katende, I have allowed you to talk. Katende.
Read for us the activity 4.1.
Katende.
What page?
Page 24.
Page, pardon? 24, okay. Good morning, people.
Good morning, Katende.
Activity 4.1.
Yes.
Graph paper. Make their point of intersection 0. Mark 0. Mark an arrow at the end of each of these lines.
Attend your voice.
Label.
We are listening.
Label the x-axis and the y-axis.
Label the x-axis and the y-axis. Yes.
Teacher, me.
Yes.
Teacher, me. Teacher.
Who is in me?
You say your name.
Hannah.
Isabel.
Hannah, read. Others, can you mute yourselves? I have allowed you to talk like Katende. Can you mute yourself so that Raihana can read? Over Hannah, Raihana. Yes, Raihana, you read.
Draw on graph paper.
You are very clear.
2 lines that cross at the center of the graph paper.
Good.
Make their point of intersection 0.
Page 24, yes.
Make an arrow at the end of each of these lines.
Very good.
Label the x-axis and the y-axis.
Very good. Which one is the x-axis? Which one is the y-axis?
The x-axis is the horizontal and the y-axis is the vertical.
Bravo.
At equal space positions, mark the integers 1, 2, 3, and so on to the right. After the 0 position on the x-axis and away from you from the 0 position along the y-axis. Plot the following points.
So now, thank you very much. So now we look at the points and then see how far on the y we shall go. We see those values. We might have 100 on your x-axis and y-axis, but when you look at the values, the smallest value of the x is a -5. Are you seeing that when you look at the points? When you look at the points, we are drawing the vertical and the y-axis. Some numbers will be positive, others will be negative. Can we see the points? We have the first point is 2, 3. The next point is 0, 4. Third point is 5, 0. Then we have negative 1, 3. We have negative 4, negative 4, negative 2. We have negative 5, 4. So when you look at the x values, the first points are the x values. The smallest value is this negative 5. So you must cater for negative 5 on the x-axis. And then the biggest value is positive 5. So our x-axis can run from negative 5 to positive 5. Or you can have from negative 6 to positive 6, as long as all the x values will be catered for on our xy axis. When you look at the y, we are having 3, 4, 0, 3, negative 2, 4. So the biggest value is a positive 4 and the smallest is negative 2. So you are making equal spaces on both axes, the x-axis and the y-axis. But the smallest and the biggest must be catered for on our axis. So we can have the x-axis running from negative 5 to positive 5 or negative 6 to positive 6. And then the y from maybe negative 3 to positive 5, because the smallest is negative 2 and the biggest is positive 4. So these values must be catered for on our axis. So can you please quickly draw the x-axis and the y-axis and represent the points? I'm going to give them names. I'm going to give them names. Let the first one be A, the second one be B, the third one be C, the fourth one be D, E, and F. So now, draw your graph very fast, and who would wish to share with you your answers. The first one and secondly, post here, and then we shall share the answers. Can you do it very fast? So we have our points. You are representing them on the XY axis. Lady Shima, you have indicated for the negative values of X. We are going to use one graph paper for all the questions. But now, how are you going to get the negative version of everything?
If you have questions, you can type in the chat so that we look at the question. What the exercise? Check your WhatsApp and see if people have sent you something.
Please use the graph book because we are drawing graphs. Those ones who are asking where to write, the graph book, because we are drawing graphs. Those of you who had done the work, I can see some members, I think that one is Senior 1 South, that they had done the work. Good if you did it. Can we share what you have? Somebody, Faith, I'm done, Senior 1 South. Can you post here so that we can share your answer? To which number in North can we send the work? Either Teacher Rahima's number or mine. Teacher Rahim has shared our numbers with you. But very few are sending. That is the response we are getting from Teacher Rahima. The others, what are you doing? Lady here, you haven't labeled the axes. My name is Priscilla, 1 Central. You haven't labeled the axes. Besides, you have put the negative number above the x-axis. The negative y values are below the x-axis. You haven't labeled, Lady Shima, you haven't labeled the axes. Which one is the x-axis? Which one is the y-axis? Thank you, the numbers are there, but you haven't labeled the axes. Those who are trying out, thank you very much. Take note that above the x-axis, the y values are positive, and below the x-axis, the y values are negative. If we have the x-axis and the y-axis, x-axis is the horizontal axis, vertical is the y-axis. The values above the x, the value of y above the x-axis are positive. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Whereas those ones below, we have the origin is 0, 0. Below, we have the negative values of y. Negative 1, negative 2, negative 3, negative 4. Take note of that. And with the x-axis, to the right of the origin, we have the positive values of x. This is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And to the left, we have the negative values of x. Negative 1, negative 2, negative 3, negative 4, negative 5, negative 6. So the vertical axis meets the horizontal axis at the origin, and that point is 0, 0. Above the origin, the y's are positive. The positive sign is optional. You can indicate it or you may leave it. Whenever we don't find any sign, we know that those are positive values. And below, we have the negative values of y. This side, we have the positive values of x. After the origin to the right, we have the positive values of x, and to the left, we have the negative values of x. And when you are writing the numbers on the x-axis, the numbers are written below the x-axis. The values are written below the x-axis. And then the numbers to the left are the positive y-axis. So we write the values on the x-axis below the x-axis. We write them below. And then the values on the y-axis, we write them this side of the line, on the left-hand side of the line. How do we share? You can
Someone is asking, where is the number? Which number? What kind of English is that? Send the work here. Please, you can send your work on the numbers that we have given you in the chat. I have not understood.
So please be attentive. Don't attend 20 minutes and then you go away. By the time you come back, we shall have moved.
Thank you, Chomuhendo Vivian. We have seen your work. Natkunda Leila, we have seen your work. I'm only thanking those who have handed in work. Nagawa Alia, we have seen your work. Manzi Pauline, we have seen your work.
Thank you very much, the people who have done the work. We have seen it. Now, so now we can indicate for everyone here. We have point A is 2 on the X and 3 on the Y. So we shall have our point A, 2 on the X, 3 on the Y. So we plot point A. Point B is 0, 4. 0 on the X and 4 on the Y. 0 on the X and 4 on the Y. So that is our point B. Point C is 5 on the X and 0 on the Y. 5 on the X and 0 on the Y. That is our point C. Point D, -1 and 3. -1 on the X and 3 on the Y. -1, 3. So that is point D. Point E, -4, -2. -4 on the X, -2 on the Y. That is point E. Point F, -5 on the X, 4 on the Y. -5 on the X, 4 on the Y. So that is our point F. Thank you, ladies, so much for trying out that number. We are checking the answers you are posting here. We are so impressed by the performance. Thank you very much. Now, ladies, I want you to do exercise, the second exercise on page 25. We did the first exercise on page 25, but then there is a second exercise on page 25, where we have the positive numbers as well as the negative coordinates, positive coordinates and negative coordinates. So page 25, the second exercise, do question 1 and question 2. And you post your answers, if possible, to the numbers Teacher Rahima has given you. You can post to me, you can post it to Teacher Rahima. It has been nice having this lesson with you. If you have some comments, can you post them? We look at them within the remaining 4 minutes before we close. Yes. Question number 1.
Excuse me, teacher.
Yes. We are listening.
Excuse me, teacher. When they have given you those code,
you first talk your name.
My name is Najinda Maisun.
Yes.
My name is Najinda Maisun. When you're given those coordinates, for example, exercise 2. When you're given those coordinates, for example, exercise 2, is it allowed to just write like the coordinate names without giving them letters? For example, A, B, C, D, E, and the rest.
That's why I have tried to name these coordinates. They also didn't have names, but it is hard to identify them on a graph paper without names. However, for question number 1 and number 2 on page 25, you are joining them. Draw a set of axes and mark the points with coordinates. We have these coordinates. Then part B, join the points to form an 8-pointed star. you are joining them in the order they are given to you. So even if you have not labeled them, still we shall see the diagram. That is question number 1. Is it clear? Is it clear?
Yes, thank you.
Then
yes, thank you.
Thank you. Question number 2, we
Excuse
have
me, teacher.
draw the rectangles with the corners at the following points with the coordinates given. We have part A, the set of points in part A. Are you seeing that? Set of points in part B, set of points in part C, set of points in part D, set of points in part E. Join the points with the coordinates. So now, part A, you're going to join them, and you name that figure A, like we did with the second exercise we did here. You're going to identify part A, part B by labeling the figure using, what are these ones, figures?
Excuse me, teacher.
Yes?
I did not get Charahima's number.
You did not get?
Charahima's number.
Okay, people, what you have to do, make sure that that work they have given you, every exercise, you do it and you write in your books why these exercises, they are going to add up to your marks. Remember, for you, your system, you use a cumulative method. So make sure that that work, you do it in a proper way. They are going to mark your books and they are going to award the marks, and it's a cumulative what? System. Am I clear? When you don't miss it, Madam Nassolo is recording exercise 1 on this date, exercise 2. So for them, they will say out of 15 exams, out of 15 exercises, for you manage to do only 2, and you end up missing.
On the left of, on the right of the graph paper. X-axis here, Y-axis here. Unless you are to write both, you can write X-axis, X-axis, Y-axis, Y-axis. But if you write Y-axis here, X-axis here, without indicating it on top there, that is not right. So we must label from here, Y-axis, and here, X-axis. Hope I've been understood. Thank you. You see, posting work to the teacher helps, because even if you have made a mistake, we can raise. If you simply do your work without posting, then we can't know what mistakes you are making and how to go about it. Thank you very much for attending. I wish you a nice day. Till we meet again.
Bye.
Bye, teacher. Thank you, teacher. Bye, teacher. Thank you, teacher.
Bye, bye,
Bye. Bye.
bye.